These 3 words: you have cancer. These words are devastating and unforgiving. Oh, you didn't know? The words that doctors shouldn't say when you're drowning. I have cancer. The words I couldn't say, but everybody wanted me to repeat. I'm sorry, but the words you never want to hear an ER doctor tell you before he tells you have a PE. In memory of. The words you never want your name to follow. In honor of. The words that is now your tagline for every pink walk. I'm a survivor. The words that are a contradiction to your outcome. Oh, he stayed. The words that was said by some dumbass idiot. I have cancer. The words you never want to hear from a friend. Just keep swimming. The words that a friend posted on your page that was a gift to your soul. You're cancer free. The words that no doctor really believes. What about kids? The words you said when you found out. Where's your husband? The words that are said not because he's never there, but because he's always present. Life is good. True words. These 3 words have changed over time for me, and I forgot that they were said on this day. So I hope you enjoy the podcast, episode 4. Thanks. Hey everyone, this is Regina, and you're listening to Chemo Glow. It has been a while since I've been even thinking about recording. But today of all days, I open up Facebook, and Facebook will give you flashbacks and moments in time that you totally forgot about. And today is one of those days that I totally forgot about, which is kind of good. Because today is the actual day that I heard those 3 words. You have cancer. February 28th. Yeah. And if you've listened to my podcast 1, episode 1, you've heard my story already. But what is interesting in this flashback that I seen on Facebook, or this moment in time that I seen on Facebook, was it was a couple of years later. Well, it was quite a few years later, and I was talking about my girls, and I was pregnant with my girls, and it was interesting how 9 years ago today was that day, but almost 3.5 years ago, I was pregnant with my girls, and how time has gone by and passed me by. And it's nice to forget that date sometimes, because people celebrate it different. I had a girlfriend that did a 5-year celebration. I had a girlfriend that said, hey, I just want to celebrate my birthday because it's around the same time that I was diagnosed. And I had a girlfriend today that I was chatting with, and we were actually laughing about the day that we got diagnosed, because she just went in for a routine follow-up from a surgery, and she wasn't really going to go. But there was a mall close by to where her appointment was. So she was like, I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. She didn't have lunch yet, and she decided that she was just going to go to that appointment. And she was there all day. And because she didn't eat, she was also hungry and angry at the same time. And all of us know how that feels like. But we were laughing about our experience. And then she was like, when Dr. Lee told me, and I was like, oh, your doctor was Dr. Lee? First person that told me was Dr. Lee too. And we were just laughing about the experience and the perp walk that you do. In my first episode, I talked about how you come in through the front and you leave out through the back. And literally we were in a parking lot, like a parking deck. They walked us out the back. And I guess because they didn't want you to walk out through the front where all the folks who haven't been told or are just there for routine ma'am grabs. I hear you all walking through screaming and crying. Or in my case, I was just mad, like mad. And then I told you I went to go get my hair done afterwards. So it's crazy how 9 years ago this thing happened to me. And, it's a big thing. It changes your life. You're in transition. I'm actually in another transition. I'm in a rental home, but you let my daughter tell it. It's our summer home because we are building our new home that we were supposed to do when we first got married. Because you know how you plan. I'm going to get married. We're going to build a house. We're going to have kids. And then the universe says, hell no. So it's like we're kind of doing everything kind of backwards, which is still cool. I'm enjoying the experience. I don't know how anybody can get married, have children, and build a new house together. Because, you'd be in divorce court or choking somebody out. Either one will do, depending on the day. But it's just funny that you think about it in different ways. And I think about what I've been through, what I'm still going through, the fact that, I have an appointment coming up soon, because you have appointments even after you're done. And the 10-year mark is supposed to be the awesome, 10 year. I made it to 10 years. It's 3, 5, and 10. Made it to 10 years. So next year will be my 10 year. Don't know how I'm going to celebrate it because it's 16 days after my wedding anniversary. Don't know if I want to celebrate it. I'm happy that I'm here. And I think through this podcast, it kind of helps me relax, relate, release, still be in the moment and help others if possible. But I just thought that today was the day. And I didn't think about it. I just happened to click on Facebook and there it was. And I was like, wow, how 3 words can change your life, and how deep I thought I was on Facebook. It's crazy to me. So, because I'm a pretty private person. So to see my thoughts from back then, and there have been some crazy ones that have flashed up that I'll probably talk about later. But just being in that moment at that time really changed how I was going to live my life. And if I was going to have life, I thought I was going to be dead, And that was just my first one. Remember I said I had to do a second. I got a second opinion because they was like, yeah, it's in your lymph nodes, but you'll be all right. You just need a new set of tatas. And yeah, I wouldn't be talking to you right now if that was the case, because it was in my lymph nodes and we needed to do more than what the first doctor told me. So I'm happy we did get that second opinion. But also today, and I'm just kind of talking, I called my husband and I was like, yo, you know what today is? And he's like, nah. And I was like, today was that day. He's like, was it? It's like, yeah. And he's like, wait a minute. Because we always look at it as being in April, because some people say it's the day that you were diagnosed or the day that you had your surgery and had your cancer removed and started your treatment. So we kind of look at April as being that time. But February was like, we just got engaged in September. So February was like that month. So like every time I look at February, I'm like, yeah, you suck. But this February, we were doing so much, moving out of the home that I've lived in with him for 8 years, our home, and now moving into, a rental spot and then building our home, which I hope is done in September, because this is for the birds. But I'm excited. I have my own podcasting closet in my new home, so I'm excited about that. So you won't hear a lot of the background noise and all that stuff, because I'll be in a closet that's just meant for podcasting. But anyway, today is that day. I'm glad that day happened, because I wouldn't have known if I waited till I was 40, because I was only 36 at the time. So I look back now, as much as I was upset, my life was turned upside down. It was devastating. Now, would I have preferred never to have cancer? Yeah. But today is that day. It reminds me of where I've been and where I'm going and how we're living. Reminds me of my 2 girls, my husband, my family, all my friends and family who have been a part of this with me. It reminds me of what is soon to come, what will not happen because of this. So I'm glad I'm here. And I'm kind of glad that today is that day. Talk to you later.
Sound editing is provided by Josh Masters. If you like what you hear, please rate and review the podcast in iTunes. Connect with Chemo Glow on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You can also find more content at chemoglow.com.